Hi, hello, namaste. This is Meera here, and it's my pleasure to connect with you all as always. I love doing that. Welcome to this podcast on Dino and OSS. Lots happen in our life, lots we share, and we try to create a meaning out of whatever we do. And once we create that particular meaning for whatever work we are doing, it's a habit that happens. And once the habit sets in place, it's a practice. And once the practice is in place, and excellence happens, on its own, and it creates that particular feature called unique and special feature about each and every one. We all are nothing but one atom particle or one story in place. And we love to create stories, we love to hide few stories, or we just keep some stories aside for no reasons. But when we come across some people in our life, unknowingly or knowingly, the stories which is within us, they just start surfacing. And that's how I realized when I started doing this Kaapi and the Conversations Connect. Yes, Kaapi, as I love calling it as Kaapi, because I feel a soulful connect when I call coffee as Kaapi. And Kaapi and the Conversation, we've been having a lovely connect with our guests in the past. And from each of them, definitely, I have been learning quite a bit. I so wish I could, collect all the learnings and garland that into a book. Maybe we may never know. It just came out of my mind now. I so wish it happens. Just putting this thought across to the universe, and let's see what the coffee the universe is gonna give it to me. Today, without pausing you all over here, I've been holding you. You might be wondering, whom do we have in our guest, in a guest in the Kaapi of the Conversation? A lovely friend of mine with whom I've been in touch for the last 2.5 to 3 years, and a lovely soul. How we connected, I sometimes still wonder how we connected. It was through a messenger, and then we shared our numbers, and we became a part of a community. And she is one of the community member of the initiative that I have been running with the support of her and the other people in the team. It's a stories that brought us together, and it's a story that is holding us, more than telling, like holding us, keeping us connected. Any time of the day, we just message each other, or we just pick the phone and talk to each other. Lots of stories happen. Quite a bit of stories that she create. I would put it across, have been influencing many people. Is she a storyteller? Is she a teacher? I would say she is a wonderful influencer. Influencer in itself is wonderful. And she's been helping many people. When I say many people, many parents, because today parents, first thing that comes in their mind is, I want my child to be away from the digital, or the devices, the mobile or the gadgets, if not the whole day, at least for some time. And in that sometime, can they read book? Can you help them in getting them those words, the spelling, because they struggle to write it, or when it's about the spelling. So let's welcome Sridevi Srinivasan. Hi Sridevi, lovely to have you here.
Hi, Meera. It's always a pleasure to meet you and talk to you. Thank you for inviting me. And it's a
It's my
wonderful.
pleasure. It's my pleasure, and thanks for coming. I was just sharing about my experiences about what you do. How lovely it would be to know about the work that you do, Sridevi.
Yeah, sure, Meera. Like I started off as an IT professional, and I'm coming from a very normal background. Just grown up from a very first generation learner, I would say. So that really makes a lot of difference, because when I see people like you and all that, then I understand. You all read a lot of books. You all talk so naturally, and I always used to wonder how this happened. But it all happened when I went to US with my son. I learned how to raise a child as a reader. So I did whatever they said exactly in the same way. Then I could see a difference in the way we are bonded. Me and my son are bonded. That is number one. And number two is the way he is reading. Okay. So he started reading very well. And there I understood, okay, this is what is the magic that, all these people have. And so when I came back to India, I found many other children who have this reading as the pain point. When there is an examination, they used to come to me, my neighbor children, they used to come to me, and I used to teach them. When I teach them, I literally have to teach the question, the answer that is the way they are reading. Okay, that shouldn't be the case, right? We need to understand the lesson and come up with their sentences on their own. Just that we need to give them a guidance on how to make the sentence. So that is the only thing it should be ideally, but it doesn't happen that way. Then I understood that reading is the pain point to most of the children in India. So I thought, okay, should definitely work on this particular area, and started off my journey from there. I've been telling stories, to in many regions, and I used to roam around many places along with the storybooks, and then read stories, and then found that reading stories or telling stories gives a wonderful connect with the words and with the emotions, and that is how we can start off. I started off that way, and then I slowly learned the Montessori method, and I completed my B.Ed, in order to understand what is happening in the education system, and also worked with a school, teaching kindergarten, and also teaching reading program and many other things I was doing in the school. Taking care of library, taking care of events, and many other programs I was working on. And so I was able to understand how it is exactly happening in the system, and came up with a reading program. Okay. So, and that program really fits into the CBSE curriculum, and it not only in the CBSE, any school environment. So it fits beautifully in the place. There will be a reading class, and we do certain set of activities that really engages children in a very active mode. It's like a flipped classroom environment. It's not like our usual bench, talk and chalk method. So it's a wonderful way to teach children, and they started blooming as a wonderful readers. They started loving books. So that is when I decided I should do it to many other children, and started League of Little Legends. So here I am.
Yeah, League of Little Legends. Such a, I mean, you call it as a triple L, right? League of Little Legends. And just to give a glimpse about the logo to our listeners and the viewers, it has three colors, three elements. I would say they are the foundation. Sridevi would like to know about League of Little Legends or the triple L and that logo.
Yeah, sure, Mira. So, like, as I'm very happy that you really looked into the logo and tried to understand what is the thing behind it. So, actually, the thought what I had was like, the fundamentals are very, very important, right? So, once we give fundamentals, then they are enabled to learn anything or do anything. So, that is when I thought, we'll have this primary colors, the red, blue, and yellow, with which we can make any other color, right? So that is the idea of 3L logo. And yeah, that's about it. And we started off.
How did you come with the name?
Yeah, it happened to me. That's what I should definitely say. It happened to me. I'm still working on the copyrights and all that, but somewhere I don't want to give up on this name, and I'm holding it tight.
You should.
Yeah, because the children, they call themselves as little legends when they address, and then now I invite little legend Abhinav, or that way they feel that pride. And I have also noted this, the guests who come to our shows mentions this particular word. When you call them little legend, it gives them the pride, and also it gives them confidence. It's really wonderful, so I'm very close to that word little legend now.
It's actually kind of creating that kind of a confidence in children. They've started, this is my experience, like I've observed that children have started associating their name with League of Little Legends, and they take a pride factor. I mean, it's just not about they just attaching or just adding that name Little Legends to the name, but they feel good about it because you guys have been doing a wonderful job. You guys have been doing a wonderful job. I'm just taking
Thank
this
you.
liberty of sharing that I came across quite a few teachers in your League of Little Legends. I so wish I have a permission to share their names, but one particular name with whom even I have this opportunity of working closely. She has been associated with League of Little Legends apart from the initiative what she has been running. Yes, it's our dear friend Ms. Nrithyakatha, who runs Story Bundy, and she's part of League of Little Legends also. And my daughter is a big fan of Harita ma'am and Sridevi ma'am. She keeps checking the DP, what is the next DP, what they're gonna come up with, and she tells me, see, Harita ma'am's DP, see Sridevi ma'am's DP, and she keeps telling. But why am I telling that? You might be wondering, because that is a kind of a comfort and a space that you have given for children, because any time of the day she feels comfortable to pick the phone and talk to you. Might be currently she's not attending a couple of her classes because she's part of the other classes also. But any time of the day when we talk about League of Little Legends, she just goes to the WhatsApp group. She sees what is happening. There are few children, they send their audio message because you guys give some task and they come back. Let's connect on that. That's the reason I wanted to bring, Harita, my daughter, and that WhatsApp group. So, can you just throw some light on that structure that you're working?
Yeah, sure, Meera. We have a lot of courses. Basically, we have a structured reading program. That is completely, in a way, it has to be. And children from 3.5 years old join that. You won't believe. Actually, I started this when the pandemic started, and then I made a child to sit and teach. Then I found the child is not interested to learn. So I called mother and then told, no, ma'am, I'm not going to work anymore like this. So let me come up with a different model and then I will work with you. Then we came up with a wonderful structure, like we give them materials and then we have we send materials every month. We send the materials, and with the materials, when the children are sitting, they find it so comfortable to learn. And now like you have been there, like level 1 completed, level 2 completed, and they are just reading books, story books, and all that. So it's kind of a holistic reading program. That is part 1, and the part 2 is the storytelling based communication skills program. So that is what you were talking about. Maya is associated with that program. It is to let the children explore through the stories. So that is the basic idea. We take one story and try to explore it, every part of it, whatever the way we can explore, give games of multiple intelligence, whatever different things can be enabled. For example, we read a story and started asking children to have this cups and then pour water in it and then make music out of it. Take 2 spoons and then make music out of it. Draw your family tree or something that is very interesting, and the activities that we give also, right? So it's quite interesting. And in one of the classes, I asked them to, bring the things that start with Q. Okay, so everybody started running everywhere, and then suddenly, the entire family is coming towards the camera. And I got, what happened? No, ma'am, we are coming in queue. So the entire family is taking part in the classes that we are conducting.
That's so nice.
Sometimes, the brothers or the sisters used to sit and listen, and then they answer, they come up with the answers for the riddles. And now we have a structure for 4th standard to 5th standard. We give a different kind of structure. We have 15 minutes of a proper, a riddle, news, and all that, because each and everything has a different format of telling it, right? News has to be told in a straight face and without much movement.
Yeah.
But riddles or jokes can be asked in a different way. So we do that also. That's very interesting. Children, we talk about new products, we talk about books, and that is how we start the class, and then we get into the structure of it. Or we take some target. We have a target. It's not that we are not completely structured. We are structured. We have a target. For example, if I choose a poem as the target, then we read a lot of poem-based stories, and then we finally end up making poems.
Yeah.
Or in the process, we learn a lot, and that is how it is going on. So the activities, mostly we ask them to record and give, because recording and giving is very, very effective.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it's very effective. In order to record, they need to read. If they are not able to read, they go to their parents and learn, and then they read. So parents are also getting involved in the learning process. So it's very effective.
I did a couple of recordings along with my daughter, just that I didn't send it across to you. Okay, there's one thing which you do, right? And it's wonderful. You call it as SHOWDAY.
Yeah, show days are something, it's amazing. I've been doing this, long back. Before I started going to school, I was also doing this earlier, and there also I had the show day. It was physical actually. Basically, the show days are like reflections or whatever they learned. They try to put it in a beautiful forum, a display to everyone. So actually, what happens is they learn the structure of inviting someone, waiting for others to complete, and then how to respond to that, say thank you, or whatever it is. That is one part of it. The other part of it is like they learn something thoroughly, and then they show it to the entire world that this is what I have learned. And what actually it looks like in a very normal activity, maybe in a classroom, definitely a teacher would do. But showing it to a parent becomes a complete, it gives a totally different paradigm to it, right? So when the parents watch them, they get their children, they get the confidence in their children. Hey, yes, my child is doing this. So, and slowly, it's like they are leaping. That's what I would say. When they complete
Yeah.
the show day, they leap one step, one
Yeah.
long step, I would say.
Something like a celebration of finishing one level before you go to
Yeah.
the next level. And rather than telling before you go to next level, we're all excited to go to the next level.
Yes.
Right. And I connect this, I've been wanting to share this with you. Might be today I'm sharing that. Many times when we share story or when we write a story or a poem, they say show, don't tell. So, your show day is definitely in that line. Children actually are showing about the facts, what they learned about how to write, how to read, or whatever they picked up. So I like this name that you have come up with, show day. Okay. There's something which I got to know you're doing. Something is coming out. I think it's on June 11th or so.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? Excited to know about that.
So basically, whenever I see parents, since I have learned how to raise a reader from the birth, not from the birth, from the time of conception, I should say. So from it's like it's a wonderful journey, and
I think apart from registering the name for the schools, this also needs to be done now.
Yes. So actually, definitely every parent, when they are expecting, they should learn this kind of this course, or I would say they can read the book that I'm coming up with, Mindful Ways to Raise Confident Readers. It is not just about raising a child as a reader who is just reading books. It's about the holistic approach of giving reading to a child as a gift from the parents. So that's something amazing, and the entire journey will bond the parent and the child so tightly, and that love will be transferred to reading books. That's the part of it that I have witnessed, not only in my life, I have witnessed with all the participants of that particular workshop. So we went as a group to this particular workshop called Raising Readers, and then we came out, and then we could see the difference. The 5-year-old child sitting next to her mom when she was giving birth to the second baby and reading books to the child.
Lovely.
You can't believe, it's amazing. She's already, ready to take care of her life. I understand that it doesn't happen the same way with all the children, but definitely the journey of mindfully raising a child as a reader will bond the parent and the child together. And we need not work too much on their academics when they grow up. They will start learning by themselves. So that is something like enabling a very key element like autodidactism, I would say. So automatically, if whatever they want to learn, they can pick a book and then read. That the confidence that I can read, and the curiosity. The curiosity is there. Then only they'll go and search for books, right? So the curiosity, all this we can stimulate in the early years. So that is what the book talks all about. How to do it, how to give this to the parents. Yeah, that is about it.
Absolutely. And what's the name of the book?
Mindful Ways to Raise Confident Readers.
See, I was just waiting for that name to come. I mean, we have so many. Um, Maybe, Sridevi, just to walk back in the timeline, like 25 years or 30 years back, for example, when we were to know the meaning of a word, we used to run. No, we never ran, but we had a dictionary which was just near us, to know the meaning of that particular word. Or in fact, to build a sentence, again, we used to ask people or friends or schools, we used to go to the library. So we actually went in search of the information to build that knowledge. But today we are blessed that we are overwhelmed with the information and we don't know what to think. So
Exactly.
that is the state of affairs. It's just not with the adults. It's for children also. And so apt, that you came up with this title, mindful, because what we speak, what we do, it needs to be simple. And what we read
Yeah.
also, let us do it in a simple way. And that's definitely an act about being mindful. So I'm glad that you came up with this title. And I'm just going back to the overwhelmed information that we receive, once we look for something in the internet, and we'll be wondering which to choose. And as for the SEO and other things, whichever comes on the top, we just pick it up and go with that. So, but in your workshops, I've definitely seen that it doesn't work on that. Whatever comes on the top, you're teaching, not like that. I've seen the kind of research that you're doing. Do you want to share about? I mean, do you want to share the website link? You want to say about League of Little Legends. You have a website in place?
Yes, yes, yes. It is there. It is www.leagueoflittlelegends.com. And we started off with the reading and then the storytelling based communication skills. But now, since we are doing it for English, we really wanted to do something for Tamil, and we have a wonderful
Wonderful.
foundation course for Tamil, and it is working very well with children in India and also children in abroad. So
Yeah,
recently we had a
I
show
heard
day.
that.
Recently, we had a show day from US. The kids who were completely born and brought up there. They were telling Tenali Rama stories
Uh-huh.
as a drama. They were performing it as a drama.
Ah,
It was wonderful to listen to them, and they are making their own sentences in Tamil and they are writing. There are educators who are taking care of, and I'm involved in the curriculum framework and activities, and I keep following up with all the groups, like what
lovely.
is happening and all that.
I know you
So
have quite a few teachers who are working with you, or the partners for that matter. I personally have interacted with a couple of them, and I've seen, the kind of work you guys have been doing, phenomenal. So Sridevi, we want to do so many things. We want to share the information. We want to share the knowledge that we gathered over the period of time. But it's all about structuring that information, because informations are available. If children want to learn, they can just sit in front of YouTube or Google or any of those classes, and they can definitely learn. But what the difference that we create is when we create a structure to whatever we do.
yeah.
And definitely, you are doing that fantastic job. Lovely to know. And anything else you're coming up new, yeah, or something that you have been, yeah, about League of Little Legends and also about your book.
Yeah, sure. Like, regarding the book, we are going to do the release on June 11th. So that is,
Okay.
we are working on the other backend process. You better know it, and I learned from you.
Best wishes.
It's not an easy task. I understand that now. And regarding the other project that I'm doing currently is coming up with a proper teacher training program for reading as well as the storytelling, integrated
Wonderful.
reading and storytelling program. And we are planning to, it's kind of a certificate program that we are planning to come up with. We are trying to, touch base with the Montessori institutes or others who can give this also as an additional program. So that is what we are planning to work on right now. And we are completely coming up with we are trying to make out a platform for reading program and all that, and other programs and everything is going on. Also, we have it for schools. So
Lovely.
we are planning to go get into the schools with a reading and storytelling based reading program. So that's what I would say. And what we actually do is we assess the children, and then we get to know exactly what kind of what is the need for each and every child, and then accordingly we give them the strategies, and then we work with them. We have the program
You
structure.
customize it as per the need.
Yeah, and it's already I'm doing it, where I was working. I'm doing it there, and now we are planning to do it for many other schools. It is definitely beneficial. I tried this out in one of the schools in Madurai. It's during this pandemic time, and it worked very well.
Wonderful.
So, yeah. So the teachers, they were very happy to see the difference in
You're
the children.
definitely right about that also. People will definitely get to know. Just to add few lines to our audience over here, I will be sharing details about League of Little Legends, about Sridevi Srinivasan, and about the initiatives, the work, or the future project that she might be doing. All those details in this interview link or the podcast link, and you could definitely just go click the link and get in touch with her.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mira. That will be, very nice to. I just want to do this only thing. My intention is to reach out to many children and enable the reading. It is something that you have and you want to give it to everyone. So that is
Isn't
the
that a purpose that you're working on?
Yeah, exactly. That is the purpose. I don't know how this purpose come and stick into me. Whatever I do, finally end up at this very thought. This is what I am for. So that is what that is the purpose. I think I have found the purpose for.
Absolutely. I think purpose finds its way to us.
Yeah.
It's always there, in our mind, or it's outside our mind. We just look at it like a movie in front of us. But once it's inside our mind, that's when we just start working on it and things start happening in its own. Universe definitely gives it back. I somehow believe that. Because stories are just not only about the beginning, the title, or the moral of the story, or once upon a time. Story is nothing but the journey that you travel, and the journey that we travel in every story, for that matter, helps us in understanding the pattern, the behavior, so many things. Because Sridevi, many people are still under the impressions that the story, it is just like for 15, 20 minutes, you go for a session, you do the stories and come back. But the kind of an impact it has on the storyteller as well, with the person, whoever is listening, emotionally and mentally, it kind of helps them to be mindful about their thought. We call it as the dose, right? The hormones. We talk about the dopamine or oxytocin, serotonin, all these things, they are just in their mindful way. And it's just not with the children, because it's when a child is able to read and write, when a child is able to be on his or her own, it reflects on the parents, because parents only think that the child have to be independent. They need to do their work on their own. And when the parent, it's just a chain reaction. And the parent, when they're happy, it reflects in their their household chores, or it reflects in the corporate journey also. And even for that matter, these stories, what we are sharing, Sridevi, what you have been doing, these are nothing but helping us to chunk the facts and figures in place. It helps in the financial services industry. It helps in the education industry, of course. It helps in whatever task that we are doing, time management, or the purpose, the outcome, or even in an organization, when we have to pitch a sales, for that matter. So many stories you create. It is not those stories like just to make a person to buy. The stories that talks the facts and the figures. So that's exactly even my friend Sridevi is actually working on, because stories are just not about once upon a time and moral of the story. It's the path that you travel. And Sridevi, some few words for our listeners and the viewers, of course.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So, whoever the child who is near to you, near and dear to you, just keep reading books. It's not that the child has to take a book right away and start reading. Basically, that's what parents are expecting. My child should start reading the story. My child is not reading the stories. Read this word. Can't you read this word? They
Yeah,
yell just in front of the teachers. We know that, don't do
yeah,
that. It's okay. It's okay.
absolutely.
Just keep reading stories to them, and bond with them with the stories. As in how you bond, however strong you bond, the children are going to get bonded with the books in their future.
Absolutely.
So that is where the love for reading happens. So please keep reading stories to children. That's what I would say. And also, if you have anyone who has children, you can definitely get this book, Mindful Ways to Raise Confidence. And,
Definitely, definitely. We are
you know,
waiting to grab a copy.
yeah, and grab a copy and just just read them and let me know how it worked to you.
It will definitely work good because your intention and you have a purpose in
Yeah.
place, which will help us in connecting with the purpose and the need of the people also. Like Sridevi mentioned, just few words that I wish to add that not every child will be always sitting with a book in their hand.
Yeah.
Not every child actually would be someone, because parents, Sridevi, like as you mentioned, sometimes my child is not reading, that child is reading, because there is a difference. Every child, they have their own need. um, it's important that we give them that basic and the
Yes,
foundation,
exactly.
that to make them realize that reading is something which is part of them. It is
Yes.
just ingrained in
But
them.
yes, adding to that, Meera, I would definitely say it is not that everyone should become a voracious reader.
Exactly.
It is about you read and understand what you read.
Exactly.
That is the basic thing we want to enable. Maybe a sportsman, okay, even if it's a sportsman, he has to read some techniques and then learn it and then implement in his system, right? So
Absolutely.
we need that basic ability to read, understand, and then have the curiosity.
Yeah.
So that is all about it. So this also, as you said, parents have this question: why should he read books?
I mean, so much is there now, Sridevi, to snatch the device from their hand, because that's the time they hate reading, because we snatch it and we try to replace it with a book. But if we can have both of them together at a time and make them realize slowly they say weaning process. So you just remove that mobile for some time in a day, not the entire day. Because that, and when we do that, they had developed an aversion towards reading, because every child is unique and special in their own way. Some grow up as a voracious reader, some grow up as a reader who love to read a book at a given point in time. They understand the concepts and they go about
Yeah.
in their life in their own way. Absolutely fine, because reading is an important tool for a child. It's something it is part of the DNA. You give it to them, but we shouldn't be like forcing them that no, if you have to read. See, that child is reading.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that the child herself or himself know that that child reads well, I'm not reading. So if we make
Yeah.
it so very obvious, they will really, it will hamper for that matter. So lovely to have you here, Sridevi. And to all the viewers and the listeners, we'll be back with yet another connect here on the Kaapi. Yes, my soulful Kaapi and the Conversation Connect. We have summer guest, and I wish to share about that in the coming days. Soon, quite a few things also happening here in the Kaapi and the Conversation Connect. With this, I wish to say thank you so much for always being here and showering your wishes and the blessings. But for that, I don't think I would be in a position to do whatever I'm doing. Thank you, Sridevi, again for coming over, and namaste to all of you over here.
Thank you, Meera. Thank you.